and welcome to the latest Betway eCricket challenge. Now, with real-life cricket being suspended around the globe, we've decided to get some stars from the game to start flexing their competitive muscle as they take each other on in a 5-over match, with definite laughs, banter, and for one of the players, bragging rights if they get that win. Now, today is an Ashes special with Glenn Maxwell representing Australia taking on Stuart Broad of England. Now, joining me on the desk, he is self-proclaimed Cricket 19 champion of the world and also brilliant all-round esports commentator Mark Hatcher. Great to have you on board. You're still sticking with that self-proclaimed title?
I mean, self-proclaimed only because I beat you in a 5-over game, Tom. So I think that pretty much encapsulates everyone who probably has possibly played Cricket 19, so I'm the champion of the world. OK. All right, you're starting strong, and I like that. Listen, Mark, it's an Ashes. Now, anyone who loves cricket knows how important the Ashes are. So for you, this is an exciting day. But
whenever England and Australia match up, whether it's on the real pitch, the virtual pitch, you know, if it's in a bar, in a pub, wherever it might be, there's always that rivalry between them, right? Two great nations and two great sporting nations, and this is going to be fantastic today. We're seeing Glenn Maxwell, Stuart Broad, an explosive batsman against one of the best bowlers in the world, of English all time as well, on the virtual pitch, a place maybe they're not quite as comfortable, so it's going to be very exciting to see what the results are. OK, now for those joining us for the first time, Mark, can you quickly talk us through the format of how it is going to work in this 5-over? Yeah, so we're not messing about. 5 overs, like you say. It's 5 wickets you have in hand as well. And basically, that's pretty much it. You have to score runs as quickly as possible. Standard one-day international rules along the way. So 5 overs to get runs on the board. You mix up your bowlers. You've got to use 5 different bowlers as well. So you're going to have variations in pace, in flight, in spin. It's going to have everything that you could possibly want in the longer format of the game really squished down for some exciting gameplay.
Both of these players today have already played before, but they had very different outcomes. Glenn Maxwell beating Liam Plunkett in his match, and Stuart Broad, well, miserably losing to Andre Fletcher. We are now joined by Stuart Broad and Glenn Maxwell, so we'll start a little conversation first of all with Mr. Stuart Broad. Stuart, there you are. I have to say immediately, a different gaming chair. Is this going to be a bit more of a lucky venture for you?
Yeah, you brought back some bad memories showing the highlights from the last game, but I've made a few technical tweaks in the nets, and I'm feeling a lot more confident today.
Now, I didn't want to bring it up again because we've only asked one question so far and we've already brought it up, but have you been practicing since the defeat last time? Have you been putting the hours in, or is it just a case of waking up and feeling like a new player today?
See, before a test match or a series against Australia, you wouldn't really talk about your training techniques. So I don't mind talking about that after the game, but I'm not going to give too much away pre-game.
OK, all right. Well, I like that. I like that competitive edge to you. Stuart, now, we know that you always save your best for the matches against Australia. You're taking on Glenn Maxwell. Is there a bit of a history between the two of you, or is this just a normal outing for you today?
I don't think there's any history. I've always been relatively friendly. He always seems to like reverse scoop me over third man for 6 whenever I play against him. So there's not much you can sledge or say about that, really.
There you go. Well, listen, Stuart, I know you're all set up. He's not giving anything away, Mark. So let's meet his competitor today, coming off the back of a win. The one and only Mr. Glenn Maxwell in the building. You've already beaten one England quick. Are you ready to take down another?
Yeah, look, I think this is going to be a little bit more difficult than Liam was. Liam was clearly out of his depth, but I think Stuart, after just having a little net session before, I think he's ready to go.
OK. Beautiful stuff.
I just wanted to ask, have you got a few, you know, a little bit of sledging up your sleeve? Because there was a few things sort of back and forth between you and Liam Plunkett. Is Broady going to expect some of the same, or are you going to play a little bit more Mr. Nice Guy this time round?
No, well, I had a lot more dirt on Liam. I don't really have much on Stuart. He's far too clean cut. And I haven't had to face him in a Dukes ball game, so it's all pretty friendly between us two, so I'll probably keep it that way today.
Let's head over now to the all-important toss. Right then, Mark, we head down to Old Trafford. Is this swinging in the favour of England already?
I mean, they've got a good record here. The history certainly would side with England. And maybe, I wonder if Stuart Broad had a little bit of an influence over where they might be playing. But yeah, Manchester is going to be the location. Old Trafford, the ground. And England versus Australia. It's always got something special about it, and we've got two of the best players from their respective countries going up against each other. It's going to be an exciting match as we see that England have won the toss, which is exciting for me because of how Stuart Broad kind of struggled a little bit last time. We'll see if he bats or bowls. He's going to go and bowl. What's the thoughts behind that, Broady? Here we go then, ladies and gentlemen. Old Trafford is where we're starting off. And just to remind everyone who might be watching for the first time of the format here, 5 overs per team. Each team must use 5 different bowlers as well, and you only get 5 wickets, so you've got to think about how you want to attack the game.
Yeah, strategy is going to come into this one. Starting with Chris Woakes, do you reckon... Whoa! It's a huge hit from Maxwell. We expect that from him.
Yeah, I think you are going to say, is that a good sound strategy? Well, by the looks of it, Chris Woakes might be struggling because Glenn Maxwell has timed that like a peach, straight over the mid-wicket boundary. 6 runs.
So what would be the tactics, talking of cricket 19, what would be the tactics of bowling the perfect over?
I think it's very similar to what you would do in real life. You've got to mix up your length, you've got to mix up your lines, you've got to keep the batsman guessing, and, you know, mixing up your pace as well is a big part of the game, as we can see the first wide of the game being given. Maybe Glenn Maxwell's kind of forced Broady to push it outside the off stump after hitting that ball through mid-wicket so well. Well, that's another monster shot. This is Glenn Maxwell at his best.
Yeah, Broady, listen, what are you doing with your bowling line here? What's going through your head at the moment?
Yeah, he seems to have striking it quite well at the minute. This lockdown seems to have done his gaming some favours.
Glenn, just dispatching the bad ball or some good balls there. You're feeling like you're very in tune at the moment.
Yeah, going okay. Oh, no. No.
I think, Glenn, you can blame Tom for that one. He set you up beautifully with the commentator's curse there.
This is why you shouldn't talk on the mic while you're batting.
There you go, Broady. I've helped you out there. You've set the field, but I think it was really down to you. Did you do anything differently there?
Well, I mean, Chris Woakes is one of the best new ball bowlers in the world in white ball cricket, so I told him to get back to his basics, bowl to a field that he wants to bowl to, and try and get the batsman hitting in an area that they're uncomfortable with, and we saw the plan worked.
Yeah, but Glenn Maxwell is coming into bat now. Mark, this is where it gets juicy.
Oh, he's got it. You don't run for that.
Well, it's dug in again, and that one is up in the air. Can the man get to it? It just falls short of him. But it seems like Broady's decided that maybe the short ball is the option here. He's getting a little bit of bounce, he's getting a little bit of lift off the pitch, and it's a little bit more difficult to time. So using the pace of Mark Woodwell.
Now we're getting the viewpoint of Glenn Maxwell, what he's facing.
Oh, yes. Shot, Maxie.
6 runs over cover. Beautiful shot there from Glenn Maxwell. And again, it's 6s or it's nothing pretty much for Glenn Maxwell. And I love that fact. He's being so aggressive with the way that he's taken it on. And I'll be honest with you, I thought that was a pretty good ball. It was a wide Yorker right up in the block hole, but, you know, doesn't matter when you're Glenn Maxwell.
I love the fact that Glenn's cheering himself on. Well done, Maxie.
Nice, Maxie. Someone's got it.
6s or nothing for Maxwell. That's been the commentator's line for 10 years.
So last ball of the over. Mark Wood in again. Goes full, goes straight. And speaking of going straight, he goes straight back over the bowler's head once again. And that is out of the ground.
Spinner comes on, Mark.
Oh, catch that.
Oh, hello. Again, the curse of the commentator, it's happened.
And Adil Rashid is doing a good job here for Broady. He's keeping it tight.
Yeah, he's definitely bringing that
No.
run rate down, and another wicket. Broady's happy with that.
And here comes Rashid again. Push down the ground, and it will be at least one here, probably a couple.
You don't have a mid on.
There'll be a couple.
I do, but I think it's me fielding there, so I just let it go to the...
Another spinner coming in, I believe Moeen Ali now.
Another good length ball, and again, just struggling for that timing a little bit here.
Oh, hello.
It's got to go
Up in the air
over.
again. Oh, what a catch!
No.
Taking it over his shoulder. And again, the spin works the oracle here for Broady.
We leave it then for a second. That run rate is coming right down, Mark.
Yeah, the run rate's coming down. Oh, the reverse sweep comes
that's
out
a
of the
good
boot.
shot.
I mean, I was just about to say to you, Glenn, you've got 1 wicket remaining. Maybe you want to try and maybe take this a little bit slower? No, first ball, off the mark, reverse sweep through the covers. Beautiful stuff.
So go on then, Stuart. This is the big decision you have to make as a captain. You seem a little bit forlorn.
Stuart, have you ever bowled a little bit of off spin?
No, Stokes is quite good at his off-spin, considering, but it was only one choice. Remember Ritchie in the World Cup final in the 2020? He got 2 in the first over, didn't he? So I'm just backing him.
It started off with fireworks, and they've sort of dampened out, haven't they?
Yeah, went hard, went early, but as we do see the last ball come in, it's going to be fired into the legs. He does go for the big shot. Oh, he did try and steal her on.
It's gone to review.
Broady's given it.
I can safely say that's the worst innings ever in a 5-over game. He was none off 6, I think.
Clawed it back. I'm pretty happy with that.
So there you go, Mark. We come to the end of the innings for Glenn Maxwell for Australia, posting a pretty competitive score. As we said, the fireworks started early, but it did dampen out. Well done to the bowling of Stuart Broad. Will it be enough for the win? When we come back after the break, we'll see what Stuart Broad can do with the bat.
So this is the innings underway then. Stuart Broad in control of England. Needs 47 to win from 28 balls. And this has been a great start here from Glenn Maxwell. And an early appeal is going to be an early wicket. Perfect start for the Aussie. Billy Stanlake's going to be on. Well, here comes Stanlake into the crease then. It does go full and...
Oh, they've gone for it.
This could be tight. Has to run his bat in and...
Billy, get behind the stump.
I think he might be safe there.
Bloody fast bowlers.
All right, I'm going to have to start making a move there.
At 43 needed from 20 here, Tom. Still very doable. That's the important thing. A couple of boundaries, and this could really change, as we do see a nice pull shot here, but there is a man out, so it's only going to be 1. But the important thing about that is he started timing the ball, and that's important.
So here we are at Old Trafford and mini Ashes. Aaron Finch comes on, the left-arm finger spinner. Mark, this is what we expected, a spinning match.
Pace off the ball again. Pace off the ball again. It worked in the first over. Question is, can Broady adapt? Can he find a way to score runs here? You see mid-off sort of hovering halfway to the boundary. And he has tried to go over the top here, but it's not been hit with too much conviction, and the man has put it down somehow. That was an absolute dolly.
Great volleyball player there, as we know.
Yep, very good. So
This one's up in the air again. Can he redeem himself?
Oh, no.
Oh, no! He's put it down again. That's 2 in 2.
I can't believe how early I'm hitting these.
What I love is Broady doesn't care. But he does. He's just perfecting his game. I feel like it's...
Third time's the charm, Tom.
Yeah.
Third time's the charm. Yep. And there we go. Broady's got a hold of one. Is that going to go all the way?
It has.
I think it has gone all the way. Broady, 2 drops in a row. And then he smashes one over mid-wicket for 6. 34 needed off 15 now. Things have changed, and now he tries to go over the top again. Surely this time it's got to be taken, and it is going to be taken.
Well done, Stoney.
3 times the ball was in the air. 2 times it was dropped. 32 now needed from 11. It's getting almost to that point where it's a boundary ball. Oh,
yes!
That's conclusive. 2 stumps out the ground. Full
Oh, a little flipper.
straight.
Oh, boom.
And that could be the game right there. Yeah, mixing up the length, mixing up the pace. That's exactly what you want to do in this game and keep the batsman guessing, as we do see Brody finally get hold of one, but it's not going to go very far. It goes straight into the hands of the man, moving around from mid-on to mid-off, and that is going to be another wicket here. This gives you a little bit more leeway as far as hitting boundaries is concerned, and you get down to the likes of your Nathan Lyons, you're not going to be able to hit the ball particularly well, mimicking real-life situations. But Johnny Bairstow, we know what he's all about. And Joss Buttler and Johnny Bairstow, I mean, two big hitters, but they're going to have to go absolutely massive here.
Oh, it's huge.
You don't need to see where the ball is, Brody. I can tell you where it's gone. That's a boundary. That keeps you in the game. We need some more of those. Game on. That boundary changes things just a little bit. We are going to have to see some maximums.
So no ball.
No ball.
Free hit.
No ball. Extra run. Free hit. Brody, things are starting to come together here. Are the wheels coming off for Australia?
If this goes for 6, it changes it.
Coulter-Nile into Bairstow.
Oh, it's a wide.
Fires it down the leg side. Is the umpire going to stretch his arms? He is! Brody can half get hold of one here. It is going to be going towards the boundary, but a dot ball off of the free hit. 150 Ks as well. So moving through the air pretty swiftly. 24 now needed from 3 balls.
Not possible unless there's any
Hang on, mate.
He needs extras. He needs extras. He goes forward. He goes straight, and that is an emphatic way to win the game here for Glenn Maxwell. Unbeaten, Glenn Maxwell, in the Betway eCricket Challenge. Brody, a much better effort from you though, buddy, but Glenn, you got to be pleased.
Yeah, very happy. Got the result that I came for. Probably everyone knew that was going to be the result. At the end of the day, it was just surprised it was by 23 runs, to be honest. That's a great effort from the Aussie boys, and a sign of things to come in the future, I think.
Listen, you've heard from Glenn what he thinks. You're a young upstart in the game, coming through. Talk us through your feelings on today's match.
Yeah, a big improvement in the last game, from the last game. I thought it was a gettable total, but I needed a better start. Glenn used the spinners really well, quite hard to hit that. I need to certainly work on the batting side of things. Every time I tried to play a shot, it was coming up timing early, which is probably not ideal. But, 23, 24 on that sort of pitch is a competitive total, and you just need one of your top orders to go on, don't you?
We have just witnessed Glenn Maxwell winning for Australia over Stuart Broad. He prevailed, and I tell you what, that's 2 wins now from 2 for Glenn Maxwell. Unfortunately, though, 2 losses for Stuart Broad. However, though, Mark, he has much improved.
Yeah, marked improvement in his all-round game. I thought his bowling was really impressive. There was that one over which, Glenn Maxwell really started to get hold of the ball, and that was very early on. But you start to recognise some of the things that you can take from your real-life cricketing game into Cricket 19, changing your pace, changing your variations. And I was actually quite impressed with his batting as well, as crazy as that may sound. We have to remind everyone, last time we saw him was 5 runs on the board, and he got that within the first over, I believe. So constant improvement. I think if he gets a few more games under his belt here, Stuart, he could maybe get a little bit of revenge on Glenn moving forward.
That's all we've got time for today. I need to say a massive thank you to Stuart Broad. He'll be celebrating that victory. And, of course, to Glenn Maxwell and to the man on the desk, the self-proclaimed Cricket 19 champion of the world, Mark Hatcher. Mark, have you enjoyed it?
What a fantastic show it's been. Always good to see some of the best in the world competing, and just happy to be able to give them a platform to do so.
All right, well, listen, we'll see you again very shortly for another Betway eCricket Challenge. In the meantime, stay safe and goodbye.
Perfect start for the Aussie.
This lockdown seems to have done his gaming some favours.
That is out of the ground.
You seem a little bit forlorn.
2 drops in a row. England back in the game.